Faerie Protective Services, Chapter 2. It's always a good idea to aim for small talk in the first few minutes with a new client. When it went well, the clients adjusted to your presence in their lives a little faster and smoothed over the rough edges of having to be so close to each other for extended periods of time. That, and it helped with nerves. The woman wasn't much for small talk, unfortunately. Her name was Tatiana Tati Bolorma. First name Russian, second name Mongolian. When I asked her if she preferred visiting either country, she replied with, "Step is step as far as I'm concerned." I took that as a cue to drop the subject and guided my new client towards the parking lot and my not-so-standard Jeep. Though not much at first glance, the sand-colored vehicle tended to impress clients who like to keep a low profile and was my lone edge in the crowded bodyguard industry of El Paso, Texas. It was almost as armored as a tank. Both the driver's and passenger side doors had been reinforced with steel, while the remaining surfaces sported enough layers of Kevlar and ceramic trauma plates to stop all but the most dedicated attackers. The additions had also been subtle enough for the vehicle to blend in with the crowd, which was why I could sometimes charge rates high enough to keep the lights on and gas tank full. Without that Jeep, my business would be dead in the water, as opposed to its current state of limping by on life support. I opened the passenger side door and Tati jumped in before slamming the door shut with a clang. I followed suit and scanned the parking lot for anyone paying attention to us. "Seatbelt," I said. "How thrilling," said Tati. "Is that the detail you wanted to talk about?" "No, ma'am," I replied. "But it's where we start if you want us to go anywhere." Tati stared at me for a moment with a smirk on her face. The expression looked good on her, but I was a professional and did my best to pretend that I didn't care. An awkward pause followed, but it was one that I could bear so long as it ended with her seatbelt click. That sharp, metallic sound sent a brief pulse of something, maybe fear, through me. Despite a war in both this world and in Faerie under my belt, I still got antsy at the start of a new job. I think that the sheer weight of not knowing how well or how badly a job could end up is what got to me the most. A shrink would have told me to delve deep into my thoughts until I had picked out exactly what was putting me on edge. I had never met a shrink worth listening to, however, so I instead went with something that the Earl King taught as gospel for his recruits. You can't control the world, but you can shape what you touch. Anything in arm's reach is a chance to exert your will, and if you are skilled or just lucky, you can bend a little of the world in the direction that you want it to go. There was no way of knowing what the rest of the day had in store for me, but I did have enough experience to know how the worst-case scenario for a job like this would probably start. Rule number 1 for anyone who's ever been shot at is to get off the X. At least 20 minutes had passed since I'd first seen Tati near my office. That was plenty of time for a skilled opponent to track her down and put some lookouts in place. The last thing that I wanted was to start off this job with unseen observers in tow, so I figured that the best way to put any nearby spies on the back foot was to get out of here and off the X as fast as possible. I stomped on the gas and peeled out of the parking lot, leaving a trail of burnt rubber in my wake. Anybody who wanted to follow would have to do so fast enough to reveal themselves in the process. Unfortunately for Tati, the shock absorbers for Jeeps are built to climb rocks, not provide a smooth ride. Every pothole that we blitzed over was transmitted straight to the passengers, and while I was familiar enough with the ride to avoid getting thrown around, Tati bounced into the doorframe on more than one occasion. I don't think she liked it. "Is this supposed to make me feel safe?" asked Tati, her smile nowhere to be seen as we rolled over a crack in the roadway deep enough to be an inverse speed bump. "Safe is relative, ma'am," I said. "If you're running from the Fae, then our best bet is to flush them out as soon as we're able." "There's no they," said Tati. The one I'm worried about liked to take care of dirty work herself. Any chance I've heard of her, I asked as we skidded around the corner, jumped on the highway, and started making our way towards the center of town. Though Tati didn't know it, one of those details that we needed to discuss found its endpoint at a tower in the midst of downtown. Without getting there, our day would be over before it even began. I doubt it, said Tati. Her court's small and she rarely makes trouble outside of her own borders. If she owns a Faerie court, then I've definitely heard of her, I said as I finally slowed down to the speed limit and settled into the fast lane heading east on I-10. I was a scout in the Earl King's army. We had profiles on every archfey. I know, said Tati. Believe it or not, you got a reputation of sorts. It's how I knew to look for you once I realized I needed a guard. Which brings us back to the first question, I said, setting aside the urge to dig into just who told her about me for another time. Knowing exactly who and what we were facing took priority. What's the fae's name? This one's name is Chow, replied Tati. The Lady Chow of the river, storm, and sea, if you want to be formal. I frowned at that. Lady Chow was no joke when it came to the fae. She was a lord of Faerie, a being so powerful that her mere presence in a location changed the landscape around her. I'm not just talking about shifts in rainfall or sudden wave of freshly grown daisies either. When lords of Faerie come to play, they dragged mountains, rivers, or swamps for dozens of miles in their wake. Unlike most fae, lords of Faerie tended to stay still and mind their own business. Though no one I knew was exactly sure why, I figured that doing so was a good way to keep from interfering with the lands of near peers and rivals. That alone made sense to me. I had neighbors who shot bricks every time a dog peed on their front yard. Imagine how angry they'd be if a couple from down the street carried a whole biome with them every time they came over to gossip and have tea. I shook my head and merged into a slower moving lane before my distraction got us both spread across the highway. If my client was running from the Lady Chow, then whatever she'd got herself into was above my pay grade. My first instinct was right. I definitely needed to get eyes on this job before proceeding. Hey there, it's me, McKinney. This has been Faerie Protective Services Chapter 2. This is the first book in the full Auto Faerie box set and the Faerie Protective Services Incorporated series. I really hope you like it. These YouTube videos are really out there because I thought they'd be fun to do, and also to give you a chance to see if you like it at all before you actually delve into it. Chapter 3 is going to come out in a couple of days. If you don't want to wait that long, you can just go to Amazon and pick up the whole series right now. Until then, yeah, this is it. This is me. I'm having fun doing these. I hope you're having fun listening to them. Like, subscribe, do what you want. You're a big boy, big girl, do your thing. And yeah, stay safe out there.